Hey, hi, hello, this is Chaos and Cats. My name's Kaylee.
And I am Laura.
Welcome. This is our first true episode in a while. I don't know what's before this, I don't know what's happened, okay, because we just recorded our Hey We're Back from disappearing for 3 months, if you even noticed episode. A bunch of other episodes are supposed to come out in between that one and this one, but I haven't done that yet.
Yes, exactly.
Because this is only a couple of days after we recorded that one, so
everything else
I haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten that far to decide what was happening. If we're skipping a bunch of those episodes and just archiving all those ones we've already done, or what? I don't know yet.
Exactly.
But here we are. Yeah. So, I dug out the dabs.
Did you do a little happy dance?
No. We resort to dabs when we're out of all of our cannabis.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
sad, David.
I don't mind doing dabs, but it's not something we like to make a habit of, because dabs are a lot stronger and then it raises tolerances and...
Of course. It's a whole thing.
So I'm all broken out on my chin right now. It's so fucking bad. I can't get this breakout on my chin under control.
I wonder what it is.
I don't know, but I've been fighting it since fucking November, so I'd love it to go away. Literally my whole chin area, just all around here, just constantly fucking breaking out since like November. And I don't know what is causing it, because I've never had a breakout like this so consistent and for so long.
Stress.
Hey, I've never really had breakouts in general.
Stress. Girlfriend, do the math.
Well, and that's what I figured was stress. And things have started to calm down, so I was like, alright, well, hopefully it'll start to go away. And it seemed like it was for a second, and now it's just like back. And I'm like, okay. Because usually when my period happens, I get like a couple. I usually will get like 1 to 3 new pimples. It's common. I usually just have hormonal acne.
Same.
But this, I just don't. It's like a combination of when I get my period, I'll get a breakout, and then also this breakout just happening in general. And I'm like, I just need you to stop.
Just go away.
I'm trying to get back into my skincare routine. I need to get a couple of things that are missing, because like I changed my skincare a little bit. I stopped using a lot of other ones that I was using, and I'm like, maybe that's a problem. Is like my skin was just so used to it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, girl, what you doing?
Right.
I don't know, but I gotta like get everything so I can get back. I've been trying to get back into doing my skincare because I'm like, I am sick of this. I am so sick of it. I don't usually have breakouts like this, so this is fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, I honestly have never had like a ton of breakouts at once, and I can't even imagine the people in high school where their entire face was like one giant breakout. That must have been so painful.
That was my best friend Hope. All throughout middle school, high school, just as soon as acne started for her, she had just constant breakouts. Now she has beautiful, clear, lovely skin. I mean, her skin was lovely then, but constant breakouts. And I'm sure it's uncomfortable.
It's so painful.
I mean, my God, these get uncomfortable, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll just get 2.
So I can't imagine your whole fucking face. I feel so bad for people that have like severe acne.
You're in middle and high school, so great time
for real.
for
Makes
that.
it even worse.
Yay.
I know, for real.
I think my brother had it pretty bad.
I think my sisters had a lot of breakouts growing up, and not too bad, but I don't think my brother really did. I didn't really have any breakouts growing up. It was quite nice. I got very lucky. I did not really deal with breakouts.
Yeah.
No, in that department, yes. Anywhere else, not really. It's fine. It's fine.
Keep you tuned in.
It turned out just fine.
I don't know if Chloe thinks otherwise.
Anyways, how have you been, Laura? It's not been long since we've checked in, so.
It has not been too long. So I've been pretty good. As we spoke about, we got some more snow dumped on us.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like another foot.
Yeah.
Literally another foot of snow on top of the other foot of snow we just got.
Oh, we didn't get that much snow that last.
No, the last one was
snowstorm.
like maybe 5 inches.
We probably
4 inches. But
barely didn't. We probably didn't even get that.
But still, it was still too much.
Yeah. And it's just like on a Saturday. Like if you're gonna give me a big snowstorm, you better make life.
Ours was
closer.
Saturday night into Sunday.
Yeah.
So ours started at like, I don't
Same.
know, probably 9.
Same.
Yeah. But literally it didn't stop until like noon today.
Wow.
Ish.
Okay.
1 or 10. 10 started slowing down around like 10:30, 11. And then it was basically done by like noon, 1 o'clock. Because that's when I was out there shoveling.
Yay! Owning a home is so much fun already.
Oh yay! We suddenly have a bigger driveway right when we get a shit ton of snow that we haven't had in years.
I know, right?
Haven't had this kind of fucking snow in years, and the moment we buy a home with a bigger fucking driveway is the moment we get all this fucking snow. And I'm like, of course. Of course that's how it's gonna go. Naturally. Silly of me to think it would go
cardio
any other way. Like, oh my god, some cardio and some lifting.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a lot of that's a whole upper body workout.
I know.
My fucking shoulders are feeling it.
I hate that. Yeah. And then I will like start to get hot, so I'll start to get like sweaty, which makes me cold in weird ways, but then I'm wearing my glasses and they're starting to fog up. I'm just like,
I ended up taking
see.
my jacket off and I was just shoveling in my sweater. I'd had my sweater on over that, like under my jacket, so I had that on. I eventually shed my jacket, eventually threw the gloves on the ground because I just got too hot. I was like, I'm almost done. I can't do this anymore. Like, I just gotta barrel through it. Because the worst part was the opening of the driveway.
Always. Because of the freaking plow trucks going by so much.
So much slush by the time I got to it, like on top of the snow, so it made it like heavier.
Yeah.
The rest of it, easy.
Yeah.
Peasy. No problem. Got that busted out. No time flat. Just not really. It took me an hour and a half to do the whole driveway. There was just so much snow.
There was just so much snow.
But the last, what took me the longest was probably that end of the driveway because I kept taking breaks. I'm like, oh my god, it's never ending.
I can't breathe.
Other than snow, anything else interesting happened for
in
you?
the past 2 days? Oh, you mean?
Anything?
Let me look at my calendar. Let's see.
Oh, let me look at my calendar.
No. Today I had my sister-in-law over and her kiddo, my niece. She looks less than enthused right now.
Oh, she is not happy with me right now. For those of you that cannot see, because this is an audio. Oh, your feet are so cold. Oh, I'm sorry. So distracted suddenly. Your feet are so cold. I just suddenly scooped my cat. I was hoping for a dramatic meow from her, but...
She disappointed. But her face did not. She was saying it all with her face. She's telling you that right now.
She says it all with her face.
But I had my sister-in-law and my niece over today, and we watched kids movie and hung out, and then we did like face masks and stuff.
Oh, it's so fun.
And it was really cute, and I'm glad they came over, because I was originally supposed to go over there, and then she just offered to come over here because stuff was going on at her house, and I was like, hell yeah. I don't want to leave my
I don't
house.
gotta drive.
I don't wanna leave my house. She brought snacks. She brought me ginger ale. She spoiled me.
And she came to you.
I know.
Normally it's the one whose house it is where you spoil them.
Exactly.
How?
It was awesome. And it was just great being silly with them. And we did the sheet face masks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I took some pictures of all three of us in these sheet face masks, and we look like something out of freaking The Hills Have Eyes. And it's just hilarious. And the more we laughed, the worse it got, because then we're moving, and it was so funny to hear a little 7-year-old crack up about it this whole time.
I love that so much.
So it was good.
That's great.
Yeah, but how have you been in the past couple days?
Fine, and I can't say anything has happened or changed because I've been holed up at home. So I have not.
How was your vacation? How's it been?
Fantastic. I don't want to go back, but here we are, and I have to go back tomorrow. I'm so mad about it. Oh, I'm so mad about it. I don't want to. I need another week at least.
You might be able to figure that out, right?
Well, my mom already died, but I do that.
Exactly.
Someone else could kick the bucket. I got plenty of other family members, It's fine.
Just not Nick yet, because he needs life insurance policy first.
He does.
So
that one can't happen yet. So,
but when he does get that, let a girl know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, accidents happen.
Yeah.
Don't call me Spiller Miller.
It might get a little longer off for that one,
What'd you say?
If he goes, I might get a little longer off for that one. Oh my god. Yeah, no, but not much happening. Just getting a shit ton of snow dumped on us. But I think hit the shovel.
Yeah, and I was supposed to snowblow. And my grandfather plowed my driveway yesterday and today, or 2 days ago and today. Both snowstorms. Just being a sweet guy.
Yeah, and our snowblower is broken, so the handle's broken. So
one of the most important parts, I see.
It's also an electric one, so it's more of a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah,
and I don't want to deal with it. So yeah, we shovel. I shovel.
Sometimes I debate shoveling as opposed to pulling the snowblower out, but inevitably I start shoveling, and I'm like, never mind.
Yeah, no. Definitely. Definitely would be choosing that option. Cool.
My sister sent me a picture of Alabama weather, and it was a 75-degree beautiful day.
Oh, I bet it's fucking beautiful.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
And I was like, what, are you
just
rubbing it in?
They're cold.
And she's like, well, I just saw that it was about 28 degrees there, and I figured I'd share what it is here. And I said, so you are rubbing it in. Okay, got it. Thank you. Just clearing that up. Fuck you all. Fuck you all.
Fuck you.
My mom does it sometimes, too. She goes, my mama did it for years, so I'm going to do it to you. And I'm like, okay. Well, fuck you.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. That's so funny. I love that so much. It's like, no, you can leave me alone. It's okay. When my mom and stepdad would go down to Florida, they would do the same thing. Just, oh, I heard you guys got some snow today. Look at this. Look how sunshiny and beautiful it is here. And they're like at the beach. And I'm like, yeah, must be fucking nice.
I'm just gonna go take a picture outside in my bathing suit.
Oh yeah, no, I'll send like a picture of outside and just be like, yep, oh, this is me. Just snow everywhere.
This is my life now.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, I guess I'll tell you guys a little cat fact.
Cat fact. Cat fact. Cat fact. It's a cat fact.
Oh yeah. I feel like most of us probably know this. Who knows? Sorry, I just read another one. That's a good one too. House cats share 95.6% of their genetic makeup with tigers.
I think you're gonna have to share another one because I think
They
you
also
said that one, all right? Because I think that's absurdity.
They also share some of the behavior habits such as urine marking, prey stalking, and pouncing. Sorry, scent and urine marking, but yeah. The other one is a house cat can run to the speed of about 30 miles per hour over short distances. That means that a cat can outrun superstar runner Usain Bolt in a 200-meter dash. That's the one I read that suddenly distracted me.
But that's like so fast.
That's very fast.
So much faster than I anticipated.
Yes.
And I wish I had that capability. I either want to fly or run really fast.
If only.
Teleport me. Damn it.
Alright, and now, this is our new segment, folks. This is the new thing we're doing. Where we're going to share cat stories with you guys. Because Laura and I felt the need to find more ways to integrate cats into this podcast. Because, it's chaos in cats. And I don't think we include cats enough in this podcast, if we're being entirely honest. Oh, we sometimes talk about our cats, not sometimes, every time. Every single fucking episode we talk about our cats somehow, some way, shape, form, or form. And we give you a fact, that's it? That's not enough.
That's not enough for it to hold the weight that it should in our title of cats.
Now, ideally, we'll one day hopefully get enough of you listening that will send in your stories to us. Which you can send to our email, which is chaosandcatspodcast@gmail.com. And send your stories in about your cat. It can be how you got them, how you found them, how they found you. It can be just a random story about something fucking psychotic they did. Anything.
Yeah, all of it.
Story about your cat.
All of it.
Yeah,
it could be one sentence long, or it could be 3 pages long. We want to fucking hear it.
Send it to us, it'll be great. So I have one here. It is from the Reddit thread, tell me your stories of how you got your cat. And this one comes from the Pet Octopus on Reddit.
That's sexual.
I was gonna ignore it, Laura, but thank you for pointing it out. We will link to the thread down below, and you can read where the story was found and some other ones there if you want to.
Yeah, give Miss Octopussy some credit, okay?
It's the Pet Octopus, not the Pet Octopussy or the Octopussy. That's not what this is, Laura. It's the Pet Octopus. Where the fuck is your mind right now? We are talking about wholesome cats, pets, and you're just over here like, that's sexual. Give the Octopussy. Get the pet pussy. Like, Jesus Christ, Laura. Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Well,
we can tell where Laura's brain is.
You just get
today.
A sneak peek of this shit show in between my ears, alright? Because this is constant.
Oh my god.
I'll keep you updated on what is happening, alright?
I'm sure you will. Alright, here's...
Sorry.
Alright, so I have 3, one of which decided my dad needed him when my parents, 19-year-old brother and sister died within 2 weeks of one another. He was found under a hot tub by my brother at his dealer's house at about 4 to 5 months old. My brother brought him home and immediately forgot that he needed food, water, and a litter box. I stole him and named him Joey. He will be 12 in May, and he still acts like a little kitten. Coda, I got the year after when a coworker complained about her cat having kittens and she was just going to euthanize them because she didn't want to deal with them. Like, just give them to a shelter. Give them to a fucking shelter at the very least.
At least try.
I made her promise to let them get to 9 weeks, and I would take them all. She got to 6 weeks, and I had to get them. They were all scrawny, covered in fleas, dirty, and had upper respiratory infections because she was not taking care of them. Because she didn't give a shit.
I couldn't be able to look at them and know that they're not in good condition.
Oh, for real.
And continue to do that.
I nursed them back to health and found homes for the other 4 and kept the one that Joey was very attached to. They've been inseparable ever since. Ellie came to me the night I was planning on unaliving myself in 2021. Oh, wow. So trigger warning mentions of
about
unaliving oneself. Sorry about that. Didn't expect that one. Sorry. I had been fighting a brain tumor for 2 years at that point, and I was too tired to keep going.
Yeah.
So she went in front of our car on the way home and just stopped and looked at us. I got out, and she ran to me and jumped into my arms, purring. She's the one that comforts me when I'm crying and wakes me up when I'm having a nightmare. If I can have a soulmate, it wouldn't be a person, it would be her. She kept me going until I went into remission in September of 2023. She does have a picture of her little kitty cats here.
There's some awesome fucking stories, though.
They're all. She's got a little tortie. She's got tortie. Oh gosh, no, I'm sorry. She's got a tortie, and then she's got a light gray tabby, and then she's got a dark, long-haired tabby. Very cute. Very adorable.
Cute. I never had a long-haired cat. A long-haired tabby would be adorable.
I have also never had a long-haired cat. I would love one that's like medium to long hair. Not like super, super long, but you know. Wouldn't mind a nice long-haired kitty cat.
A little super kitty cat.
So that is our cat fact and cat story. That's our new little segment for you guys. So, you know, send us your cat story. Until then, we're gonna find cat stories somewhere else on the internet.
But we want to hear yours so bad. Cats are hilarious. And so sweet.
Absolutely.
My wonder is, if you're driving along, right, and a cat comes out of nowhere, how do you know that that's not just someone's outdoor cat?
You don't. That's the thing. You don't know. Unless you're in an area where there's maybe no homes, or
they look rough. Don't get me wrong.
they look a little rough around the edges. Then you might be able to tell.
And even if they have a home, but clearly it's not a good one.
Most people usually do their due diligence of like checking for, you know, chips, make sure they're not microchipped or anything like that, and then like usually trying to find any like boards on Facebook or something being like, "Hi, is this anyone's cat?" No, I'm gonna keep it.
He's going to.
All right, if you don't claim it, I'm keeping it. All right, it's mine.
Restricts, you're out. All right.
I was like, because if I came across a stray, I'd be taking it to the vet anyways to get it checked, and I'd be like, "Hey, I don't know if this is someone's cat. Can you check it? Make sure they don't got no microchip or something. You let me know. That'd be great."
I appreciate it. Also, don't charge me. What? Nothing.
I didn't say anything.
It was the heavens whispering.
I just found this stray outside, and I was concerned, and I wanted to get it checked on. All right. Well, Laura.
Yes.
Do you want to get into the topics of today? Do you got a topic? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yes, that is what I am searching for. I'm not just like hanging out on my cellular. Do you recall ever talking about paranormal police stories?
No, I don't think we did.
Okay, so we're gonna do that one. Sometimes I forget to delete them if I want to make sure that I send you those links.
I feel like instead of deleting them, you should be crossing them out, so they're still there.
Well, I send them to you regardless, so they're in a place.
Well, you should be able to highlight the line, like in your notes. You should be able to highlight and put a line through it. Like, there should be a way to do it.
I mean, maybe, but remember, I broke the thingy.
Right, I'm saying without having to draw. I'm saying there should be a way to do it. There's gotta be. There's got to be.
Oh, maybe. I think I did it, yes.
Also, you can do a checkbox, too.
Oh, I'm a big fan of
this.
checkboxes.
I know, but it's this one right here if you want to do a checkbox. Just so that way you still have it, but then you know if you've done it or not. What do you mean, how did I do that? It's next to that's why I was showing you. It's this little button right here.
Well, yeah, I was fucking around with my phone doing other things, so I had to get back to square A.
Notes.
Yeah. Because I was trying to see if I could draw on it.
Once you do it, it'll cross it out for you. It puts a line through it.
This is
so
the
you should do
coolest
that.
thing ever. Oh,
so I know you don't like checkboxes very much, but this could help you keep track of your topics.
I do like checkboxes. That's how I do all of my my
usually
chores, my work stuff.
Because usually what I do is instead of deleting, I just cross it out because I know I'm gonna forget if I did it or not, if it's gone completely. So then that way we don't get these moments where we're like, have we talked about this? No,
just figured I'd check in, you know.
Yeah. No, but I found you your answer. You're welcome.
You did.
You did do the little checkbox in the notes. Thought I could help.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bam.
Fuck off.
We got it.
Okay. 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 We're just gonna stay for a second.
Don't mind us. We're just stimming over here.
You are welcome to join. Okay, who wants to go first, Akins?
How about I go first? Because yours feels like it. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit more fun.
Okay, yours is unfun. That's not the correct word, but you know what I mean.
It's not.
It's stressy, depressing.
It's a little sad. It's a sad topic.
Oh, she's
not
in her
death.
sad girl era, so it makes sense.
It's not a death. You know, my mom died. Okay, my sad girl death era. Okay, leave me the fuck alone.
Did I don't think I told you that when you were gonna come with me to get my tattoo, I texted you checking in about it, and you didn't answer me, so I sent you a gift that said, "Are you dead or something?" And then I looked at Mark and I was like, "Oh no, is that gonna upset her?" He's like, because he lost his father, and I was just like, "Is that gonna upset her?" It's been what, like 2 or 3 months? He goes, "Well, it's not about her mom, so probably not."
Laura,
and I was like,
Laura,
okay.
I need to tell you about a video I fucking died laughing at because I love morbid humor. You could send me things about dead moms. I will laugh my ass off. Especially now that I can relate. It's even better. It's like a next level thing. I came across this meme. It was one of those photo recreation videos where they like take a photo from when they were young and they recreate it as an adult.
Yes.
And I fucking...
Oh
So this dude takes a picture of him and his mom, and it's she's sitting on the couch and he's sitting between her legs up down on the floor. So he recreates the photo. He's down on the floor and he brings out a fake skeleton and he puts it around. I love it so much. And he recreates the photo. It's so fucking
Thanks, Mom.
It's so funny. I fucking love it. I'm like, this is peak comedy right here. I love this so much. And as someone whose mom just died, I could relate to it so hard. I died fucking laughing in the moment. I found this like a few weeks ago. It was like a month ago, I think, when I found it.
I needed this.
It was so fucking funny. And I was like, oh man, this is great.
I love that. You just wanted to join in, alright?
I really wanted to be a part of the Dead Moms Club, you know? I just really wanted it. Yeah, no, I thrive off of dark humor, so that's how I cope in life is humor and dark humor. So No, that's not going to offend me.
So I was like, I instantly looked at Mark.
I did technically die. I was dead to the world.
You were. You were unconscious.
I passed out that night. You messaged me, and when I woke up and I saw I had so many missed messages from you, I was like, what? What happened? And I'm like reading, and I'm like, oh.
That's right.
That's funny. And then I started laughing. I said, did you die? And I'm like, kinda, technically, in a way.
Yeah, I know, because you said you passed out. So it was even more, you didn't pass away, you just passed out.
No, I passed out.
Yeah. You didn't pass.
Alright, so let's
get depressed today.
Get a little depresso espresso depresso, you know. We're talking about World War II.
What?
A moment in World War II that I never heard of. It's pretty significant, I feel like, but what do I know?
What do we know?
What
We're gonna
do
find
I know?
out.
So I've got two little articles that I'm going to read from here. One is just a little blurb about what happened from Britannica.com. And then the other one is an article about someone who survived through this. Okay.
Okay.
We are talking about the U.S.S. Indianapolis. The U.S.S. Indianapolis was a U.S. Navy heavy cruiser that was sunk by a Japanese submarine on July 30th, 1945, shortly after delivering the internal components of the atomic bombs that were later dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So up to 900 men initially survived the sinking, but many succumbed to shark attacks and dehydration and salt poisoning as they awaited rescue, and only 316 survived.
Out of how many again? 900?
900 initially survived the sinking.
Right.
Up to 900.
And then,
don't worry.
like,
No,
okay.
I get it.
We're gonna
That's
back
just
it up
the
a
quick
little.
blurb intro.
I
into
appreciate it. We love
the
this.
article, you know? That's just
I
the
do.
quick blurb.
But could you say those again of ways that these men died? It was sharks. Yes.
It was shark attacks,
Got it.
dehydration, and good old salt poisoning.
Okay. Now, if you were
Do you want to know the total of how many men there were on this whole ship? Because I've only told you how many initially survived.
Yeah, I survived a sinking ship, which I can't imagine because it becomes like an absolute suctioned whirlpool on the way down, and people just get
I'm not going to tell you yet. We'll
pulled
get to
down.
it. You'll find out how many men there
but
were on there.
I have a question for you already.
What?
If you were to choose shark attacks, dehydration, or salt poisoning, in what order would you prefer those deaths?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't know.
That's rough because they all suck.
They all
That's
suck.
rough. They all suck.
And I don't know what salt poisoning does to one person. But I'd assume
would
dehydration and
imagine
salt
it's-
poisoning kind of goes hand in hand.
They probably go hand in hand because typically you get salt poisoning from consuming too much water, and when you consume too much salt, you get dehydrated, which could probably lead to the salt poisoning. It sounds slow and agonizing. So as long as the shark attack is quick, I'll take that first.
Ugh, that's where
But that's the thing, is if it's not a quick one,
Yeah, what if you just
I don't
lose a
know. Do I
limb?
really want the slow, agonizing
you just
dehydration,
drown.
sun poisoning, or salt poisoning? It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough one to pick through.
I'm terrified of sharks, so I think I will take the long,
I am
drawn out.
not. Listen, I'm
agonizing.
also terrified of sharks, but if it's quick, I'll take the shark attack.
I will. What's worse though? No. I need to be the first one to go via shark attack, because what's worse is sitting in those waters, dying of something else, just waiting for your other death.
Laura, we
of
haven't
shark
even read
attacks.
the article
I'm
yet.
terrified. I don't do sharks well. I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. So let's first talk about the ship. the
great.
construction and the dimensions of the ship. We're reading this whole article from them. This is written out for me. It's a beautiful article. I'm going to read it. Listen, I'm not writing my own. No.
That's like we got links.
That's not what we're doing here. Sorry. The U.S. Indianapolis was built in Camden, New Jersey. The ship was launched in 1931 and commissioned by the U.S. Navy the following year. A Portland-class heavy cruiser, the Indianapolis was 610 feet and 3 inches long and displaced 9,950 tons of water. It carried a main battery of 8. It carried a main battery of 9 8-inch guns and 8 5-inch anti-aircraft guns. Powered by 8 boilers, 4 steam turbines, the ship could reach speeds of more than 32 knots, or nautical miles per hour. It is in its first years, the Indianapolis operated in the Atlantic and Pacific oceans. The ship carried U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt on 3 cruises, including a good neighbor visit to South America in 1936, World War II, and delivery of atomic bomb parts and sinking. After the United States entered World War II, the ship was assigned to aircraft carrier task forces in the Pacific Theater. In 1943, it became the flagship of the U.S. Fifth Fleet under Vice Admiral Raymond Vice Admiral Raymond Spruance. The Indianapolis participated in the bombardment of the Japanese island of Iwo Jima in February 1945. The following month, the Indianapolis was damaged by a Japanese kamikaze plane off of Okinawa Island, but it was soon repaired and returned to active service. In late July 1945, the Indianapolis was sent on a high-speed voyage to deliver cargo to a U.S. airbase in Tinian, one of the Mariana Islands in the Western Pacific. No one on board knew the cargo that they were carrying consisted of parts for atomic bombs. No one on the ship knew what they were transporting.
That's why it sucks to be like the kind of like the lower men on the totem pole doing the stuff, because you don't know the stuff.
You don't even know what you're doing half the time.
You don't.
Half the time you don't even know what you're doing. You're just following orders. So the Indianapolis traveled from San Francisco to Tinian in only 10 days. After completing the delivery on July 26th, it proceeded to Guam and then was sent to Leyte Gulf in the Philippines. The ship had traveled about halfway to Leyte when it was hit on July 30th by 2 torpedoes from the Japanese submarine I-58. The Indianapolis sank in about... How long do you think it took to sink? Big ship.
2 hours?
One would think.
Okay.
12 minutes.
Just because the Titanic really dragged that scene out, so...
12 minutes.
Yikes, dude.
I think a lot of it had to do with where it was hit.
Yeah.
And because of where it was hit, it sank faster. So... Now we get into the rescue and the aftermath.
Have you said how many men are on board? Okay, thank you.
As I'm literally
I just didn't know if I spaced out or something,
no.
okay? I've been waiting.
Of the nearly 1,200 men on board, as many as 900 survived the sinking. They were stranded in shark-infested waters with no supplies, aside from life jackets and a few life rafts.
That's it. I changed my mind. I'm going down with the ship, alright? I'm dead
right?
that way,
I was gonna say, if I have any option, I'd rather die in the jump, if we're being honest.
For real, like, goddamn.
Okay, so they had to survive in shark-infested waters with no supplies aside from life jackets and a few life rafts. However, it took 4 days for help to arrive. Because of communication errors and other problems, the ship was not reported missing when it failed to arrive in Leyte Gulf as scheduled on July 31st. The survivors were discovered by accident on August 2nd when they were spotted by a passing U.S. naval aircraft. By that time, only 316 of the men remained alive and were rescued. The U.S. government delayed reporting the tragedy until August 15th, 1945. The same day it announced that Japan had agreed to surrender. That's when they decided to come clean about losing over 900 men.
And, like, it's like, of course they were, like, for them to go in blind about this probably was a main reason why they were hit, because they weren't really able to even be aware of anything, even if they tried. Like,
yeah. So the commanding officer of the Indianapolis, Captain Charles B. McVeigh. It gets better. I want you to know, it gets better. I can't wait for this part, for you to hear this part. The commanding officer of the Indianapolis, Captain Charles B. McVeigh III, was among the survivors. He became the only ship's captain in the U.S. Navy to be court-martialed in connection with the loss of his ship in combat in World War II. In February 1946, McVeigh was found guilty of negligence for having failed to steer the ship in a zigzag course to help evade enemy submarines. He was found not guilty of another charge, having failed to promptly issue orders to abandon ship after the torpedo attack. The military court recommended clemency, and the sentence of decreased seniority was set aside. Upon his retirement in 1949, McVeigh was promoted to Rear Admiral. He committed suicide in 1968. I wonder why. They literally tried to put the blame onto the captain because he didn't zigzag the ship. And they later say that, like, we're about to read that so many survivors of the tragedy believe that McVeigh had been scapegoated by the U.S. Navy. They contended that the captain had been ordered to zigzag only at his discretion, and that poor visibility before the attack made that inadvisable. At the court-martial, the commander of the Japanese submarine I-58 testified that zigzagging would not have thwarted the torpedo attack anyways. In addition, McVeigh's request for a destroyer escort had been denied. He even asked for escorts. It later came to light that the U.S. Navy had known that the Japanese submarines were operating in the area, but McVeigh had not been warned, perhaps to avoid revealing that the Japanese Navy's secret code had been broken. Following a campaign to clear McVeigh's name in 2000, the U.S. Congress passed a joint resolution exonerating him in 2001. The U.S. Navy placed McVeigh's record in memorandum, noting that the resolution had absolved him from the blame. In 2001!
Yeah, because didn't he kill himself in 68?
68.
Bro.
Take your sweet time with that one, guys. No, they fully scapegoated him.
Oh, absolutely.
They fully used him as a fucking scapegoat to be like, no, sorry guys, this ship went down because of him.
I mean, I think there's so much stuff out there that's like that.
He didn't even know that the submarines were in the area. We did, but he didn't, so...
And if you're the captain of a ship...
I feel like at the very least you could tell the captain
but
hey...
also... He doesn't want to die.
There will be submarines.
He's not like, hey, let's do this because...
Yeah.
Let's risk my life and thousands of other men's lives, you know?
No.
Like, he doesn't want to be in shark-infested fucking waters.
No!
Probably is so fucking traumatized, and then he has to go through all these court bullshit, traumatized even more.
There's more to this article, but I am not going to read it. Because it talks about World War II and other
stuff.
I just came here to talk about the ship. They did also, over the years, numerous efforts were undertaken to find the Indianapolis. However, given its depth of some 3.4 miles below water and uncertainty about its location, the wreckage remained lost until August 2017, when it was discovered by a team of researchers led by Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. Huh. Interesting. Didn't expect that.
I didn't either.
So that's that little blurb about
That's insane.
about that ship. We're not done.
Oh.
I told you I have 2 articles for you.
Hot take.
That one gives us here's what happened. You know,
Yes.
the
bada bing bada boom is what I like
the
to
bada
call
bing
it.
bada boom.
Yeah.
Now here's the bada bam. One of the survivors' experience.
See, this is what I'm saying. They're watching, they're listening to people getting eaten by sharks.
A native of Massachusetts,
Oh god.
Harlan Twibble, was a it's such a weird name, okay? You gotta get past the name. It's a weird name, I know.
It's like fun to say.
Harlan Twibble was a fresh graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy when he was assigned to the heavy cruiser I.S.S. Indianapolis in late June 1945. He had wanted to be assigned to a newer, more glamorous ship, desiring to be either a naval aviator or submariner. Like any young, confident Academy graduate, Twibble wanted to carve a place for himself in history, and he assumed that a cruiser like the Indianapolis, affectionately known as the Indy, to her crew would not be that ship. Fate would prove him wrong on that assumption. On July 26, 1945, Twibble and Indy were sitting dockside on the island of Tinian. Twibble, serving as a officer of the deck that day, looked out across the pier and noticed an abnormal... Oh my god, I cannot fucking speak all of a sudden. Oh my god. Looked out across the pier and noticed an abnormally large contingent of brass, or high-ranking military officers, clustered in large groups on the pier. What Twibble did not know at the time was that his ship had transported vital parts for the world's first nuclear weapon to be used in warfare to scientists on Tinian. The ship's mission was top secret, so the officers and men alike had no idea of their cargo's importance or why there were so many high-ranking officers watching the crew unload its cargo. There were admirals, everything that was of importance on the island of Tinian was there to greet what we later found out was the bomb, he said. Following the delivery of her cargo, the Indy was sent to Guam and ordered to join with other surface forces in the area of Leyte Gulf, Philippines, for further training before the invasion of Japan. On July 29, 1945, Indy was sailing towards her rendezvous with the fleet at a speed of 17 knots, unescorted and alone. At 0000 hours 15 on July 30th, the heavy cruiser was struck by 2 Japanese torpedoes fired from the submarine I-58. The first torpedo blew off of the ship, while the second struck nearly amidships near the power magazine. I don't know what that means. The resulting explosion literally split the ship to the keel, knocking out all power, causing her to sink by the bow rapidly. Aboard the stricken vessel, young Ensign Twibble. Young Twibble looked around to find no officers taking charge of the chaotic situation. We knew we were in trouble, he said, so I took command and I told them to hang on to anything they could hang on to. Then, when the tilt became too great, I gave the order to abandon ship. Nobody abandoned. Then I yelled, "Follow me," and the bodies came in so fast it was unbelievable. Twibble jumped into the sea and immediately swam from the ship. Indianapolis went down in a mere 12 minutes, bringing nearly 300 of her crew down with her. As she disappeared beneath the waves, 900 of the ship's crew floated in the Pacific Ocean, their location and fate unknown to the U.S. Navy. Following the ship's sinking, the next task at hand for Twibble and his shipmates was survival on the open sea. Many of the crew, including Twibble, had been wounded during the torpedo explosions, some grievously. Everybody was scared to death, he said. These were all 18 and 19-year-old kids. Despite their young age, the men were somewhat calm after they were put into the water. There wasn't any fighting, any turmoil, he said, but everybody was scared. Most of the crew formed into groups for mutual protection as the night wore on. As the sun rose, Twibble conducted a head count and realized that he was the only officer in charge of 320 survivors. As day 1 wore on to day 4, many of the men began to lose faith that they would ever be rescued. We tried to keep the men thinking that they were going to be saved, but there was no way in God's green earth that I knew we were going to be saved, he said. My fear was really for the men, not for myself. My biggest concern was that the people we could save, we saved them. Desperation and fear grew among the men floating in the shark-infested waters. The common image of the story of the Indianapolis is that of hundreds of men being ravaged by sharks for days on end. While there were many shark attacks, the exact figure of death by shark attack among the survivors is unknown. There were many survivors who never even saw a shark. Twibble and his group, however, were not among those fortunate men. The sharks grabbed some of the survivors who had floated away from the larger groups, so Twibble organized shark watches to keep the men together and fend off the sharks when they came in. The sharks usually stayed away from the larger groups, which would beat and kick the sharks, normally forcing them away. Still, the predators took their toll on the survivors on Twibble's group. Twibble insisted on cutting the dead men off of floating wreckage they had tied themselves to, then pushing the dead out to sea so that those who remained would not have a constant visual example of their potential fate. After 4 days and 5 nights, the survivors were finally sighted by a U.S. Navy aircraft on routine patrol. The pilot radioed the report of many men in the water, which alerted a PBY flying boat that in turn alerted a nearby destroyer, the I.S.S. Cecil Doyle. Rescuing sailors through the night, the PBY and the destroyer were the answer to the survivors' prayers. Of the 900 men who went into the water, only 316 survived to be rescued. The Indianapolis disaster remains one of the worst and most controversial tragedies in U.S. Navy history. I wonder why. Harlan Twibble stayed in the Navy following World War II, serving through the Korean War, eventually retiring in 1958 due to health issues sustained during his time floating in the Pacific Ocean. He entered the business world and became successful, retiring at age 54, moving to Florida with his wife. Like many combat veterans, Harlan Twibble never talked about the disaster in the years immediately following the war. He tried his best to forget what had happened and didn't discuss the sinking and his time adrift at sea, not even with his wife. Initially, the horrible experience was too much for Twibble to share, but his thoughts eventually changed. He feels that talking about the disaster helps people remember it and honors those who never made it out of the sea. Reflecting on his decision to order his crew to abandon ship, he said, "What decision could I ever make that was anywhere near as important as the decision to tell those men to throw their lives into the water? That was one of the biggest decisions I ever made. I was gambling everybody's life that we were going to win." The end. I wonder why it's one of the biggest stains on the U.S. Navy's fucking history. Because A, you lost sight of these men for 4 fucking days. Mm-hmm. You then turned around and tried to blame it on the captain,
who wasn't told what he was transporting, or
no one was. Not a single person on the ship knew.
Like, even if he wasn't told, just give him proper instruction and he'll fucking do it.
You didn't even tell him there were gonna be submarines in the area. You could have at least said, keep an eye out for Japanese submarines. They may be in the area. You didn't even have to say they will be. You could say they may be in the area. And he would have been prepared for a possible attack going through there, but no. So that's my little story about the USS Indianapolis, because I've heard many things about World War II. Many random offshoots of situations similar to that have happened in World War II. But I have never heard of the sinking of such a huge ship with so many men on it. That's 1,200 men. You lost... What?
Almost all of them.
You only 300 survived out of 1,200. That's like what? You lost 75% of them, basically?
I was about to say, like, you
It's like 75% of the crew.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not good at math, but I believe that's about 75% of the crew right there.
I believe you're about correct.
Now, I do believe... I'm not good at math, but I do declare. I must be right.
Correct. Stamp of approval. Come right up. What was his name again? Obviously Swiggly, because
Harlan Twibble?
Twiggle.
Twibble. Twible. Harlan. Harlan.
Twiggle?
Harlan Twibble.
Twibble.
Harlan Twibble. His parents did not love him. I'm just kidding. They probably did. I'm just yeah, it's a funny name. Haha.
I will say that I cannot believe that somebody...
That man stayed in the Navy?
Yes!
I would have been out.
I would have been
so
like, give me
fast.
so much money and I'm out of here. Because
I would have been like, yeah, I can't do this.
Was
Give
a
me the
shit
fuck
show.
out.
Because there's saying where, like, you know, when you're doing something like that, having one thing go wrong, they might be able to manage it. Having a little problem, something go wrong, like, multiple times, they stack up, and it ends in a shit show.
Dude literally survived one of the worst shipwrecks.
And then I was like, let's do it again.
In history. Like, that is one of the worst shipwrecks in our fucking human history.
I can't... Not even. Don't even... Nope.
That's half of what was on the Titanic. The Titanic had 2,200 people on it.
And how
they
many...
had half... It was 1,200 on this ship.
Right, and how many people survived the Titanic?
More than 1,500 people died in the disaster. They lost about 50% in the Titanic.
I was about to say, still, that's a big chunk of... But that's like...
This Navy ship lost 75% of their people. The Titanic lost 50% of the... Well, roughly 50.
Right, but the fact that the Titanic was able to...
Maybe like 65%.
Have more survivors from a Navy ship that's doing this dangerous thing, and for them to not hear from them and not go check on them, not do anything.
Yeah, because I mean, they should have known literally the next day because they didn't make it to the port.
Exactly.
And that should have alerted them, but nobody... Yep. Nobody done did that. Oh. Alright, Laura.
Well.
Regale me with some tales about some ghosts.
Like I said before, these are like paranormal police encounters. And let me tell you, Laura from many months previous put these links out there. Laura now has no idea what they say. So
That's fair.
Yeah. This one says, I worked as a police officer in a small town in rural Nebraska, which Nebraska doesn't even seem like a real place, not gonna lie.
No, it really doesn't.
Seems like it's just a place of bears. That's about it.
I forget it exists half the time.
Same. No offense, it's a cool ass
So
word,
we're like Nebraska,
but...
and I'm like, oh, that's right. Nebraska exists.
That's right.
Cool, my bad. Sorry, guys.
My bad.
Because they're what? Known for what? Cheese? Is it cheese? Is that the thing they're known for? No, that's...
I'm thinking bears and moose.
Yeah.
Bears and moose. However. But back in the 90s, I was patrolling through a town in winter. We had several abandoned houses in town, but one seemed to have the attraction of copper thieves, so we were told to keep an eye on it. Drove by it. What?
I said that makes sense.
It does.
Copper gets a lot of money. Old houses, you know.
It makes sense.
Old houses are full of fucking copper.
Yeah. So if you ever need money, go to Kaylee's house.
Not my house. My house doesn't have copper in it. But my apartment did. My apartment had a shit ton of copper all throughout the basement. All the pipes were copper pipes.
So go there.
Yeah, go to my old apartment.
There.
You can have that one.
But I drove by it around 7 p.m. since it sat on a corner. On a corner lot, I had a clear view of all 4 sides of the house. As I drove around the corner, nothing looked out of the ordinary. About 2 hours later, I drive by again, and the back door is wide open. I know that the back door was not open when I drove by it earlier. Looking at the snow on the ground around the house, there were no footprints, so I think, what the hell?
It's a ghost.
I call dispatch, tell them I'm investigating an open door at that address, and ask for a county sheriff to start my way. I walk to the open door, pull out my flashlight, and shine it inside. The house has obviously been gutted for the most part.
Police! Open up!
I appreciate you making this like a dramatized story. I do like those on Audible, so keep it up. But the house had obviously been gutted for the most part. The plaster walls have been torn down, debris piles everywhere. Since there were no footprints in the snow around the door other than mine, and with all the dust on the floor not showing any footprints, I chalk it up to the wind, or maybe the door just opened on its own. I lost my place. Stop it. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry I couldn't resist.
Oh no, I love it.
I'm like picturing him walking through the place, and I'm just like imagining the wind just like, and it sounds like someone's like,
yeah.
It's that kind of
Who's
wind
there?
that's going. It's just
who's there?
Your mom.
Well, technically not yours. Well, maybe. She could be your spirit.
I wish I had a soundboard for that. Sorry. Don't be, that was great. I'm so proud of you for making that dead mom joke.
So ashamed. I can't go on, I think. I am bright red. I'm so sorry.
I love it. I just your mom. Not yours though. I need that on a shirt. Your mom, and then on the back in like small letters.
Not yours though. Could mean different things for different people, but oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to talk to myself later, alright? That was unacceptable.
Listen, I need to have a discussion with myself about that one later. Oh, that's other Laura you were talking about. She came
the
out
FBI
for a
agent.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Anywho's, he's trying to chalk all this nonsense up to the wind, or maybe the door just opening on its own. Whatever that fucking means. He says, I was about to secure the door when I heard a loud thump come from upstairs and what sounded like kids laughing. So I enter the house and yell out, "Police department, come downstairs." See?
This is the police. Come downstairs.
Thank you. More of what sounds like kids playing. I tell dispatch that it sounds like there are kids in the house and start making my way through the kitchen into the living room where the stairs are, all the while cautiously checking the main floor. 2 more times, I hear
me like that.
What's happening upstairs right now? I think this officer needs to run. It seems like these kids are engaged.
Guys, I'm sorry. We are unhinged right
We
now.
haven't done this in a long time. So we had a lot of pent-up craziness together. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
My face hurts so much.
Mine's just,
Whew.
Gosh, I'm hungry.
Same.
It had me thrown off. 2 more times I hear something upstairs, but since I've had no response, I start thinking maybe it's an animal. Still, I hear what I'd swear was kids laughing. I head upstairs and it all gets quiet. The upstairs is relatively small with a hallway at the top of the stairs that has 1 bedroom on the right, 1 straight ahead at the end of the hall, and 1 bedroom on the left. No bathroom, damn. As I get to the top...
No bathroom for you.
No, those 3 people and they all have to go downstairs to use the 1 bathroom. Alright. Sorry, you have no bathroom. It's just outside.
Sorry. I thought you meant no bathroom at all. I didn't realize you just meant on that floor. There's only 1
It just means that there's only 1 bathroom in that house, and for 3...
For a bathroom with like 3-4 people?
Yeah,
like, that's a lot.
It's a lot, especially you got kids.
1
so,
bathroom?
I'm just saying. Not
Just
outside,
saying.
but I guess
Just
that might be an
saying.
option if you need it.
Just saying.
As I get to the top of the stairs, I hear a thump in the bedroom to the left. I carefully peek around the door, and it's an empty room with a small pile of plaster and wood debris in the middle. No kidding, sitting on top of the pile of debris was a page torn out of a child's book with a picture of a police officer on it. The hair stood on the back of my neck. I got out of that room, quickly cleared the other rooms upstairs, and got the fuck out of there. I told dispatch nobody was in the house, locked the back door, and never went back in there again.
It's fair. I wouldn't fucking go back in there either.
No.
You're hearing children running around and animals possibly and just other creepy shit
And then
happening.
just
No
for nothing
fucking
to be
thank you.
there?
Yeah. No, thank you.
Like, even if you didn't do the whole, like, even if the picture of a police officer wasn't there or anything, even if the other stuff happened, I would still be like, okay, well, you see, bye. I'm gonna... Bye.
I will admit, the getting up there and seeing a picture of a cop would be terrifying as a cop when you're in this haunted place and just suddenly you're like, oh god!
What the fuck?
Is he
No.
sure it wasn't a mirror and he didn't just see his own reflection? And then he got a little spooked.
We cannot confirm nor deny. Or...
You know? Like, could he have just gotten spooked by his own reflection?
Okay, this one is called The Disturbance That Wasn't. Yep.
The disturbance that wasn't.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so we weren't disturbed.
We're always a little disturbed, yeah. This one says, not my story, but a good friend of mine was the youngest recruit to pass the police training in the area for a long time. At 19, he was fresh into the service. I went for a pint with him a week later, and you could tell he'd seen things. So I asked him what it was like. Yes.
The moment he said, and went for a pint later.
Yes.
Yeah, you're British.
Yep.
We don't say that. We say
Yeah.
we went for a beer.
Yeah, somewhere from the UK. For sure. He told me about this one where they were called to a domestic. They got to the house and opened the door. Instantly, a whole load of sewer rats, not pet rats, flooded out, and there was no one home. The lights were on, the TV was on, but it was muted, and the loud voices that they heard arguing were just gone. The only life there were the rats that ran out of the house. They searched the house, every nook and cranny, and found no one. He and his partner for the evening stayed around a while, waited to see if anyone came home. But after a few hours, no one came home. The neighbors couldn't even explain it, so they left. A few minutes later, they got called to the same address again by a different person stating there's a pretty heated domestic going on. This time, they brought the dog squad to find people, but again, the house was deserted. He said the freakiest thing was that the toilet had blatantly just been flushed when they got there as the... Oh, I'm gonna say this wrong. The cistern was filling.
The cistern.
Bowing, everyone, I'm bowing because thank you. Beautiful. Because I guess I didn't know it had a name. I know
the cistern.
Got it. And the kettle was now on and boiling.
Oh.
The dogs found nothing as well. To this day, he doesn't know what the fuck went on.
So we had a poop and dasher, and they left the kettle on too, because apparently they were gonna have some tea. But
yeah, but if they're screaming at each other and then like, oh.
No, was this an abandoned place? Did you say, or was this someone's home?
It doesn't necessarily specify. It just says that they kept on getting called to a house.
Okay.
For a domestic. And also for a whole load of sewer rats to come out when they open the door is
interesting. Yeah, that's
wild.
Yeah, that one.
It gives wall of flies giving bad juju, you know?
Yeah. If I opened a door and a bunch of sewer rats came running out of the house, I would turn around and leave.
Yeah. If you were looking for a house recently
what?
and that happened, you'd be like, actually,
I'd be like,
that's
you know what?
a sign as is.
I don't believe in signs often, but that's a sign of bad, and I'm gonna not even go in there. Thank you. Bye. Goodbye. I'm out.
I'm not. And I don't know about you. I've seen many mice in my day, but I have seen one rat, and it was no lie, a foot fucking long, and its tail was another foot fucking long.
See, I've never seen like a huge rat like that. I've seen like smaller rats. But I've never come across a big rat, thankfully. No thank you.
Did I ever tell you that story of where I saw that rat?
You didn't.
Can I share?
Oh, please.
I was living with my girlfriend at the time and her grandmother. And her grandmother, she knew someone who was giving away furniture or whatever because they got new furniture, and she went to go pick it up. And so we were helping her pick it up, and we were helping her bring it home. And so I think we brought it home and we put it on the grass because she wanted to just give it a shake out or whatever. And but she couldn't figure out why it smelled so funky even after wiping it down, dusting it, vacuuming it, putting in all this work, because she was a working lady, you know.
Well, I can think of why it's smelling funky.
And so she lifted a part of it up and she said, "Oh," and she went and got her just some tongs, some kitchen tongs, and reached down there and picked it up and was like, "This is the problem." And it was this massive dead rigor mortis rat and its tail, and it was disgusting. And not
it was dead.
It was
too?
dead. It was humongous and it was dead. And she literally thought of this as no big deal. So she disposed of it, and she put the couch in her house. And I am telling you, she cleaned that thing many times. She put couch covers on it, and she claimed that she felt like she got rid of the smell. But every time I went over there,
she became accustomed to the smell.
Every time I went over there, I'm like, you actually need to get rid of this because it's disgusting.
No, she became fucking nose blind is what the problem is. She was around it so much, so often, for so long that she just stopped smelling it.
But I mean, I would go to school and come back because, mind you, this was partially when I was in senior, maybe even after senior or whatever, but I would come out off the bus and come wherever and walk in the door, and you could fucking smell it. You'd sit on the couch and you could fucking smell it. And I just, it was like, I've never seen a rat that big, and you kept your furniture that smells like a dead rat that God knows how long it's been in there for.
That's what gets me. It literally rotted in there for long enough that the smell is permeated through the whole thing.
So that's my big dead rat story. that's where
That's terrible.
Yep.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
Okay, thank you. So, it's not a good sign. Rats. Sewer rats. Pet rats are cute as shit.
Love rats. I love rats, but
Yeah.
not sewer rats.
You can just stay in a sewer. I'm gonna have you choose A, Mother of the Demon, or B, A Most Bizarre Abduction.
Mother of the demon,
I
of
figured.
course.
Okay.
Of course.
Like duh. So it says, bitch, where'd you go? Okay, this one. Stop. Oh. Stop.
Hold on, Lauren's fighting with Reddit.
It's the mother of the demon. She's not happy, right?
It's the mother of the demon. She does not want her story told.
No.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
This one time, I went out on a call of a suspicious person at a house near where I was at. What a fucking sentence, buddy. When I get there, the guy tells me that someone knocked on his door, and when he went to see who it was, there was a woman standing in his driveway with some sort of child-sized doll with horns, and it looked like all bloody and cut up.
Okay.
So he asked the woman who was looking away from him what she wanted. He said that she turned around and told him, "It needs food," and then started screaming at the top of her lungs and ran at him. So like a normal human being, he slammed the door in her face and called the cops.
As one would. I would do the same, honestly.
Sorry, my phone's being wacky. I get there, cop, and there are well-defined claw marks on his door. There's also a good bit of blood, I suppose from her fingers, so I call it out and start to search on foot. I also had 2 or 3 units driving around the area to see if they can't find this chick. So I'm about a block away and we get another call that the woman is back at the guy's house, but in the backyard. So I run about a block back to the guy's house and bust into his backyard. The lights are out, so I have my flashlight out and I'm looking around. The lights are out, so I have my flashlight out and I'm looking around. I see the chick huddled in I see the chick huddled in the corner next to a fucking evil-looking doll thing, and I ask her if she's okay. She doesn't say anything. About this time, one of my mobile units came back to the house and parked his unit where the headlights were shining on her so we could see how scary this chick looked. She had long, black hair, as all demons do.
Naturally.
Her clothes were rags, she had no shoes, clearly homeless, and she kept whispering things to her doll. So my buddy and I approached and tried talking to her, and she kept whispering to the doll. Couldn't understand what the hell she was saying, so we decided to drag her out of there. Huh? That's kind of...
Okay.
Okay. The second we put hands on this chick, she went berserk, punching, kicking, slapping, all kinds of shit. So we're fighting with her, trying to get her on the ground, and she's not going down. This chick was strong as hell. Well, in the fight, she somehow got away from us and was sitting in a crouched position with her head tilted to the side and making the creepiest growl, snarling sound I've ever heard.
That's a demon.
For real. Then she
That's
screams
a
at
demon.
the top of her lungs and charged at us. So my buddy straight jabbed her in the face and knocked her out clean. We cuffed her and hauled her off to the hospital where she tested positive for PCP and various opiates. This is not a paranormal story, sir. This is actually someone who is just having a hard-ass time on a lot of drugs with poor mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not a story. That's... What's your name again? What's your name, sir? You didn't give it. Figures.
It's anonymous.
Bitches. He's just an idiot.
What a loser.
Where is the other link? Hey, stop. My phone's being crazy. Well, this one's kind of, these ones are a little smaller. I'll do like one of these and then probably be done. I gotta give you a ghost one, Jesus, or a spooky one. That other one was...
Come on!
Cut it out! Just cut it out of there.
Come on!
Just... As a controller about 15 years ago, I took a call from a hysterical man who had picked up a motorcyclist on the slip road to the M6 who had been standing in pouring rain at the side of the road with a petrol can next to an old Norton-style motorbike. These are a lot of words I don't understand. He drove on the short distance down the motorway to the next service station, and as he pulled off the carriageway, he turned to talk to his passenger, and he had disappeared. Beside himself, he contacted the police. It later transpired that at the very point the passenger disappeared, there had been a fatal accident involving motorcyclists about 20 years previously. It still sends shivers up my spine, and I still have a copy of the incident print. I spoke with the officers who attended, and they were confident the man was a genuine everyday fella. But
he was a genuine everyday kind of fella.
That's
okay?
right. He's a real fella.
So basically, dude thought he saw a stranded guy who needed some gas because it's a petrol can.
Yeah.
So he was all like, yo, he needed some gas. He was like, yo, hop in, I got you. Let's go get you some gasoline. And then when they get there, he goes to turn to talk to the dude, and it's like, where'd he go?
And it is one thing, though, to, like, talk to someone who's not there. It's another thing to have someone get, like
in your vehicle.
Yeah, like, you can feel
like he
that.
opened the door and got into your vehicle. Or did he open the door for him?
I don't know. I also wonder if... I'm trying to...
Did he get into the vehicle?
I mean, I think so, yeah.
Because he said he started driving him, didn't he? And his passenger disappeared.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if he said car or if he also picked him up on, like, a motorcycle or something, because...
No, I think it was saying that the guy was on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he picked him up.
But either way, like, you're sitting next to someone.
And then he just turned to look at him and he's fucking gone.
That's wild to me.
That's insane to me. I couldn't imagine. I would have to pull over for a moment.
I think I would too.
If I didn't realize they were gone before I got to the spot where I was going and I wasn't already stopped, I would need to pull over for a moment and be like, holy fuck. And then I'd be like, Laura!
I think I need to go back to therapy.
Oh, literally.
I'm seeing stuff.
First session. So,
see.
why'd you decide you were gonna come back to therapy? Well, you say.
I'm either
Funny story.
A, seeing things, or B,
haunted as fuck.
Yep. Don't know which one I
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
I think I would shit myself. No lie.
Honestly, yeah. Same.
Okay, I'm gonna read, I think one more. It's kind of short.
One more? More, please, sir. Just one more, sir.
Just one more. It's kind of short. Just because, you know.
Sire,
if
one more, please, sir.
Here,
Please, sir.
here, I'll give you one more. But you can also get rid of that other bullshit one from that cup. But here, have a proper one. My uncle works for dispatch in my town, and he recently told my family of the weirdest call he's ever gotten. He says that he had received a call from a landline one night. What are those? And when he answered
What's a landline?
And when he answered it, there was only static on the other end. This happened 2 more times. Finally, he calls a squad to go check out the address from the caller ID. When the cops got there and walked into the house, they immediately saw that there was a dead body. The person had been dead for 5 months. The craziest part about it was there was no electricity or any other utility working there. So there is no way they should have been able to get those calls into dispatch. But if they hadn't, who knows how long that person's body would have stayed there.
That person's spirit was so sick of waiting around for someone to come find their fucking body that they fucking started manipulating the fucking electricity and shit.
I mean, that's what spirits are. It's just energy.
And started blowing up the police. Like, come on. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on.
We need you
Let's
here.
go.
This isn't cool.
And then they show up and they find a dead body. Yeah, that was the spirit of that person trying to get you to finally show the fuck up. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane. That's insane.
I just see, this is why I'm jealous of you living in a haunted house.
Well, hopefully we don't find any dead bodies, but
no, just like cool shit, cool stories.
Yeah.
You get like a little built-in bestie, you know, who might like you, might hate you, who knows.
So far, it seems like they're okay with us. But
Yeah, you know, Nick and the other guy ghost are frenemies. I put him in frenemy zone right now.
He'll be fine.
Of course.
He's a little scary pants. It's fine.
It's fine. We'll go over there. I'll go over there. We'll have a little like therapy session with this man, this ghosty man. It's my specialty.
It'll be great.
Do you want to be a ghost therapist with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
You know, when I tell my therapist that that's the career I'm going to go towards, he's gonna...
Hey, you tell him your bestie's on board.
He has been wanting me to talk to you about doing more things that I'm interested in doing, or we've been interested in doing, because we started coaching it, you know, and now if we just take it to ghosts, it'd be kinda
if we could just, you know,
take those two interests and combine them. You know, people would pay us to therapize their dead mother.
Listen.
Or therapize this person who's being haunted. Let me tell you why. Jeffrey's angry.
Let's find out. Let's dig deep and figure out what's going on in there. Let's really dig deep with it.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm so sorry that you got nearly decapitated 200 years ago by some raging lunatic.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do to help you process that?
Exactly. Like, where do you feel that in your body?
Now I want you to dig deep with this one. Where in your body, or your astral body, do you feel that?
That makes a lot of sense, you know?
The spleen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stored up energy in there, you know? That's where your anger is right now.
It seems like you might benefit from some deep breathing. Some meditation, even.
Could you imagine?
Have you really gotten into your third eye?
I need you to really, really focus here on yourself, okay? Okay, and I want you to connect with your third eye. I want you to really...
Your higher self is in there.
Yes.
They're just waiting for you.
To find them.
So, if anybody wants to hire us, it seems like we've got it down.
If you're
First
looking
try.
for a therapist for your ghost in your home, okay?
Or maybe you're...
Or recently deceased loved one, okay? Yeah. Let us know. We'll come connect with them. We'll get to know them on a higher spiritual level, and we'll talk them through their issues. And hopefully, you know, either get them to move forward or whatever it needs to be for them. You know, let us know. You can hit us up.
A little bit better of an energy, you know?
You can hit us up at chaosandcatspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Chaos and Cats Pod. We got a YouTube channel at Chaos and Cats Podcast. You know, you can also hit us up on our personal Instagrams. Those are listed down in the description episode below. And I think that's where we're gonna end it. That's right there. That was a beautiful little segue into our ending section there. yeah, you need us. You let us know. You hit us up on the email or the socials if you want your ghost therapized.
We are the gals for you.
I am an ordained minister. I'm sure that fits in there somehow.
Oh,
that makes it more
1000%.
legit. Don't worry. It's fine. I can bless your home, maybe.
I own
Anything a minister
sage.
can do. Anything a minister can do, I can do. Legally.
Exactly.
So
let's go.
let's go. Alright, goodbye.
Bye. God.